Hey, everybody. Welcome to another DLF stream. This is going to be DLF, the Video Liquidators Situation Explained Part 2. Welcome, B. Lynn Smith, Fish by any other name. Welcome. We got Ami, we got Linda R. We also got Natsuki. Hi there. Mary, welcome. Thanks for modding, Mary. Lynn Smith. Hi there. Jackie Hawkins, Beaker, and everybody else just listening. Welcome to another DLF stream. As usual, trigger warning, anything and everything can be said in a DLF stream, so please, if you're sensitive, leave now, because the part one he kind of I didn't really like what he was doing to Willie. Don't lock Willie up in a room or in the washroom, bathroom, and maybe watch some Jackson Galaxy videos of how to help a kitten understand what you're trying to do. Teach them rather than just locking them up in a room. So that's one of the things that's been said. Hey, Janine C, welcome. And so where do we leave off? We left off a little bit over the halfway mark. DLF was explaining his situation with Clint Carr once again and the funeral home, which isn't really a funeral home. It's a home where bands used to come and play in the Riverside area of Buffalo, New York. But really, it was a funeral home turned into a home that they called the funeral home. So he talked about Gwar. It seems he had a run-in with Beefcake the Mighty, which is the bassist for Gwar, a while back when the pandemic was at its peak, its height. And Beefcake the Almighty told DLF, "Hey, you gotta be vaccinated, and you gotta also mask up." And of course, DLF is not an anti-vaxxer. He's really technically a person who's anti-COVID vaccine, because I'm sure he's okay with all the other vaccines, but he's just anti-COVID vaccine. So we had that interaction about 2 years ago or so, and now he is talking about why he is banned from the video Liquidators, because he remembers the situation that occurred with Clint Carr and the funeral home, like 15 years ago. So let me share my screen. Let's get into it. Let's talk more. Well, he's going to talk a lot, and I'm going to commentate on what's happening. So smash that like button once again. Let's get to.
Because of this whole situation with Clint. It's like the thing with Clint snapped something in my brain and I could never get out of it. Okay? And that was my first arrest, the first of many. And
Yep.
I just felt like at that point, it's like, you know what? It's like I just stopped giving a fuck. I think that was the catalyst for it all.
If you say so.
Now it's like I moved out of Lovejoy, and now I'm in the Elmwood Village area of Buffalo. And I did so in order to get away from people that I believe are toxic.
Mm-hmm.
So Joe Conti, okay,
remember that guy? Yeah.
Remember the guy that burned his house down because of
right, Susan?
Because he was being a retard and he killed his son. He wants me dead because I call him out on his stupid shit. And it's just like, you know, it just seems like I'm being punished because
I just hope Willie is properly being taken care of. I do wish well for that cat, especially since he's so cute and he's orange and he's so hyper.
Like calling out stupidity that's going on in my neighborhood. And it's stupidity that I have valid reasons to be concerned about with that Joe Conti guy. And one of the big concerns is that, you know, he put that entire neighborhood at risk just so that he didn't have to go out to fucking 7-Eleven and get a fucking lighter for 50 cents.
Okay.
There's no reason he could have just got he could have gotten like a cheap lighter. And I know that the fucking store here, the gas station over here, they sell these really cheap lighters for.
But what does Joe Conti have to do with any of this?
Like 50 cents. Okay? And I'm sure it was. See, this is the lighter I got. And it's not even a bad lighter. 50 cents? Yeah. Look at that. 50 cents for one of these.
We've seen lighters, DLF. You know? We get it.
Why not? It's cheaper than what you would get at. And see, it lights.
Uh-huh.
It's cheaper than what you would get at, like, Dollar Tree. Okay? So, I was actually surprised it was that cheap. But, whatever. So, you can imagine this was like, what? This had to have been, 2017 or so.
For what? The Joe Conti thing?
Things were a little cheaper back then. So, whatever.
I
just feel it was ridiculous that he put. Not only did he kill his kid in the fire, but he also put the entire neighborhood at risk.
Yep.
Because,
He didn't
fire
want to get a lighter.
spreads.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a very unfortunate situation in the Buffalo area with Joe Conti. He was a father and he pled guilty to being criminally negligent of homicide in the death of his 7-year-old son. So that was a few years back in the Lovejoy area. He did set his home on fire. His son died because of it. I'm sure that man is going to remember that for the rest of his life. It's just a very unfortunate series of circumstances, kind of like the equivalent of how people, with us oxygen containers fall asleep with cigarettes in their mouths. Life happens, not saying it should have happened. I'm just saying that it does. People do really silly and stupid things, and then their family members have to suffer the ultimate consequence. So yeah, we've talked about the Joe Conti situation from Buffalo, New York, a few times on the streams because, of course, DLF would bring Joe Conti up. Then people would ask questions. So yeah, he got jail time for that, and I'm sure, like I said, as a dad, he's gonna remember that for the rest of his life. That his 7-year-old ended up being unalive because of that horrible situation. And I what can I say about that situation except, it's just really sad and that it doesn't have to happen. But it does. People do really stupid things.
And all that so that he didn't have to go to 7-Eleven, get himself a 50-cent lighter. And he still was not supposed to be at that house. So I move out of Lovejoy because Lovejoy is just is super racist, and it's just I never liked living over there.
That's another thing in the local newspapers and beyond. The Buffalo area, specifically Lovejoy, has a history of racism where a lot of people, BIPOC people, are targeted. There have been news articles where they find themselves getting beat up, getting robbed, amongst other things, specifically in Lovejoy because it does have its own history of racism.
Okay, so I move over here, and it seems like I feel like I'm getting away from people over in Lovejoy, only to find out that I can't go to the Lexington Co-op because people from my past.
Correction, he can go to the Lexington Co op. He refuses to because he has not been banned from the Lexington Co op. Just because the guy knows Katy Perry does not mean that he's gonna start shit with you, okay?
Decide that they want to work where I live. I've also saw Tom Treelore, who's Barf's brother. I've
Okay.
seen him, lurking around my neighborhood.
Or maybe
He
he's
seems to
passing
be
through.
somebody that likes to move wherever the fuck I move. He's like, you can't get
Right.
rid of him. I swear to God, that Barf. I swear, Barf is getting her brother to follow me around to move.
Don't you love these conspiracy theories he brings up every single time? It's always somebody following him, watching him, trying to get him.
Move where I move
It's not that serious,
to
DLF.
to keep an eye on me. I swear this shit's going on.
It's not. Hey, Catty
Okay?
Corn. Yes, that's the
And
one. Katy Perry, nay Rajewski. That's the one that Paul from Produce. We'll just call him Paul from Produce. That's not his real name, but that's what we are gonna call him on this channel. New Katy Perry, nay Rajewski. Katy Perry and Rajewski had a falling out with DLF. Of course, a restraining order was produced, and they have their own history. DLF has a lot of history with a lot of people in Buffalo and beyond, to be honest with you. There's Barf, there's Katy Perry, there's Paul from Produce, there's Clint, There's Baloney Arm. There's so many people that he has a history with that he gets into interactions. Even Juicy. Remember Juicy? We had Juicy in the chat like a couple months ago and was talking about the situation where she was friends with DLF, but every friend with DLF always has to have a falling out because of just how his personality is, right? And then shit starts to fly. All these accusations start coming out about you. Hey, pause and pose. New YouTube layout, exactly.
Because it got to the point where at first he was living out in the University Heights. Then I moved to Lovejoy. Now he moves to Lovejoy. Okay? Then he moves from Lovejoy, and I moved from Lovejoy. He moves to around the Elmwood area. Like, stop following me, dude. And
or it's a coincidence.
So it's just like every time I try to better my life, it seems like it backfires in me. Whether it be like some fucking broad,
What?
that I wasn't even trying to be, like a hookup. I wasn't even trying to
Deb.
fuck this
What's up?
This one girl. I didn't even know she was a lesbian at this point.
How are you talking about, DLF?
Willie, what do you got? I didn't even know she was a lesbian at that point. In fact, I asked her straight up. I said, "Do you have a boyfriend?" And she actually didn't answer the question. But I didn't know she was a lesbian. And which was fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Because, I need more lesbian friends in my life.
What does that even mean?
She asked me why I broke up with Amy, and I told her the truth. Yeah,
right,
because
this
she
angle
was faking STDs.
Once again, we've been told that those STDs were real. Those were some real STDs. He really got something, and then he had to go get his antibiotics.
By me trying to better my life, trying to make new friends. Okay? And then her blocking me because she didn't like the answer that I gave her about Amy. Like, what the hell did you want me? What the hell did you even want me to say? I don't even understand. Like, am I supposed to lie to her face? You know what I'm saying? It made no sense. Me trying to go to these metal shows to meet people, only to have it spit back into my face, with Clint Carr and all that, because he doesn't like people with autism or something.
How does he even know that?
It was kind of like a backstab for no.
Wait a second, that don't make no sense, because if you don't know or if you can't remember, Clint and DLF were actually friends before they had a falling out. Yes, I said it. They were actually friends before they had a falling out. So why would Clint not like somebody who has autism, but he was your friend at one point? That just doesn't make any sense, whatever. And yeah, I am seeing a kitty by the name of Willie zooming around all over the place. Why this camera angle all the time? Right? Junk Cam 101. I wonder why.
Reason. Like I was just there to be the brunt of the joke, I felt that was kind of shitty. So, like I said, it seems like anytime I try to do something that betters my life, stop.
Mm-hmm. Then what happens? Somebody sabotages it. It's never you.
Every time I try to do something to better my life, it comes back at me and it fucks me over. So that's why with the metal scene shit, I kind of just got fed up and I just went
Sure.
full nuclear on them.
Right, sobriquet.
Okay.
Wait a second. I thought you were set up. So you went full nuclear on the metal scene in Buffalo and did what exactly? I thought your Facebook was hacked. Please explain.
Because I don't know how to handle it. Imagine
Cat is more entertaining.
imagine being told your entire life that I wish you weren't so alone. I wish this, I wish that. My mother doesn't understand it. Okay? My mother does not understand it. She's like, I wish you wouldn't be alone. I wish you would get a girlfriend
And what?
be happy. And I'm like,
Hmm.
no.
Hey.
Every time, it's like every time I try this, it just backfires.
Right, wide awake? I wonder.
Okay?
Do I have him unblocked? I don't think so. I think he is unblocked. I'm gonna have to figure this out. I'm gonna check. I'm pretty sure
So
he's
in a way,
not
I
banned.
just want to be left alone. You know? It's very traumatic. I go to fucking Target. I know you should have been at that
Here we go.
Target. Just because you could go to that Target doesn't mean you should have. Shut the fuck up. Okay.
He's talking about the barf situation and Target. That was his other arrest.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can tell you that's going to be the fucking excuse if I ever get fucking arrested by this guy at the Lexington Co-op. Just because you could go to that Lexington Co-op doesn't mean you should have.
Hey, Auroras, welcome.
That's how they're going to start framing it, right? No, your uncle said that you could go to that Target, but should you?
Sure, blame the uncle. That's what he did. When he got into trouble with barf at Target, he blamed his uncle.
It was all fun and games. It was all fun and games until I get arrested. And it was all fun and games, so I got arrested, right? Now it's my fault because yeah, he said you could go there, but he didn't say you should go there.
Here we go, ad nauseum, repeating the same conversations over and over again. I thought this was all about video liquidators. What happened?
So now I was like, you can go to Lexington Co-op. All right.
Hey, Paris.
So if I go there and I get arrested, what are you gonna do?
Bail you out?
Everything. Whatever.
That's what they're gonna do. Post some bail money.
The thing with the video liquidators is the guy that works there, okay, is a guy named Jeff Wacker. And Jeff Wacker was
That's his
big
real
into
name.
the metal scene.
Okay,
in Buffalo.
Yeah. Hey, Jake D.
And me and him used to be niggas, okay?
Oh boy, there he goes using that word.
And he would get me in the shows for free and shit.
Yeah.
Back then he was fucking huge, and now he looks like he lost a bunch of weight. That's why I couldn't recognize him.
DLF does realize he said this exact same thing, almost verbatim at the start of the stream. Hey, Vanessa M.
But
welcome to the chat.
Don't you see here? It's like, again.
Yeah, they're setting you up. That's it.
Again.
It's all a conspiracy.
I'm walking into a place for the intent of trying to find a work.
Yeah.
You know, trying to better my life. Okay?
And look what they did to you.
And here we are getting threatened with police. Okay?
Mm-hmm. I got it.
So, what do you expect here?
Expect you to go somewhere
Literally,
else.
no.
What a hyper little kitty. So cute.
Don't just stay
Speaking of
like
cats,
that.
I got Martha here beside me,
Hey,
hanging
hey, hey.
out.
So that's what's going on. It's all stupid shit. People sit there and say, "Well, it's not about Clint. It's not about your beef with Clint. It's not about your autism. It's all about
Right,
what you
naked
said
lady?
about Brian Hewlin." And what did I
Yeah.
actually say?
Can't even remember.
Huh? Explain it to me. Show the fucking messages.
It was from years ago, though. Years and years and years, and he's still harping over the same thing.
Show the fucking messages.
But this is what DLF does. He harps over people. It doesn't matter if it was 5, 10, 15 years ago, he'll still bring you up and talk about you.
I can guarantee you, I never fucking said any of it.
You got a new kitten a few weeks ago, Caticorn? Aw, that is so sweet. Thank you for rescuing that cat. You are an amazing person.
And I actually never said anything about his kids, about Brian's kids. I don't know.
Yes, it was his hacked
There was
Facebook
something that
account.
Clint Carr got into my Facebook,
Yeah, let's just blame Clint.
and
It couldn't be anybody else.
he started saying that shit. And people believe it. Now people want me dead. And it's all over a lie. And if you really want to go after somebody, you really want to ban somebody,
Then who should we ban?
ban Clint Carr from your fucking shows.
Clint Carr was hosting the shows at the funeral home. Remember that epic conversation we used to play a couple months ago between DLF and a person? That was actually Clint. He was talking to DLF, or DLF was leaving a voice message. That was it. DLF was leaving a voice message and kept on talking about the funeral home. And the imagery was out of this world.
Because,
I
that's who you
can
should have went after.
I can never understand how people can abandon animals. I could never do that. Ever. I don't know what it is. If push comes to shove and it's between my cats and me eating, my cats are gonna eat first. Because that's how much love I have for them. I could never abandon any of my family members because my cats, they are my family members. I'm not gonna do that. Ever. I don't see how people can just drop animals off at the side of the road. Remember the Jerry situation that I spoke of, the horrible thing that happened to Jerry, which was my first cat? How he got left in an apartment for a whole month and he only survived by drinking toilet water and he had nothing to eat for a whole month. It's
Not
rather
me.
disgusting things that people do.
Not me. I was, and people keep saying, well, it's not because you're autistic that you're banned from here. It's because of what you said. No, it is because I'm autistic. Okay? Think about it here. If I
Exactly,
wasn't
Caticorn.
autistic, do you think any of this shit would have happened? If I wasn't autistic, okay, and I was
Mm-hmm.
going to those metal shows,
Yeah.
do you think Clint Carr would ever,
Right, Deb?
be singling me out and talking about me on relapse and all that other shit?
Maybe he would be. As Deb says, we saw so much of that during the penny, as in the pandemic. A lot of people were having a hard time. Lots of jobs, lots of layoffs, lots of furloughs were happening, and people were getting crunched in terms of their income and the ability to pay for things. And one of the first things that they would do was give up their animals.
No, he wouldn't. Okay. In fact, I don't see. That was the whole. That was the other thing too, because I said something nasty about Tony Lorenzo, and
Pause and
Tony
pose.
Lorenzo was a guy. He was a black guy that used to go to shows. He was in a band called Sons of Azrael.
He
Okay,
is
he was a
Mary.
guitarist, and he got shot in the back and was paralyzed for a couple of years.
Yikes.
And he ended up dying a couple of years ago. But supposedly somebody took what I said out of context.
So
and that was what I was saying. And
what about Tony Lorenzo though?
he was just saying, because he was saying shit like he was comparing me to like Stephen Hawking, and then saying that this is what Clint was saying. Clint was comparing me to like Stephen Hawking, and then calling Stephen Hawking a retard.
What?
Okay, because he's in a wheelchair or something. And I said, "Oh,
damn! Somebody should compare me to Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking's genius.
That's great. Tony Lorenzo's in a wheelchair. Does that make him retarded? What's your next thread here gonna be, Clint? Is it gonna be, oh, Tony Lorenzo? Because the thread about me it said Dragon Lord Frodo Buffalo's Jaffa, and a Jaffa is like their word for a retard. It's the name of a hockey helmet.
We know, yes.
And it's a cheap brand of hockey helmet that they give to people with special needs so that they don't hurt their head, banging their head against the wall.
Layla asks, is he drunk again? I would say more of high than drunk.
That's what the whole thing is about. Okay? So, calling me a Jaffa and all this, as synonymous as being, retarded. I said I never wore a hockey helmet before in my life, so
I guess he never played hockey.
So he's calling me a Jaffa, and he was saying that, because
right, Deb?
Stephen Hawking was in a wheelchair, that automatically makes him retarded.
What kind of... Who thinks like that? Stephen Hawking was one of the most brilliant minds on the entire planet, and just because he is in a wheelchair, that somebody's calling him the R word, that don't make no sense. No sense whatsoever. You're telling me you're telling me a guy who had such a high IQ, you're calling him the R word just because he was in a wheelchair.
And I said, what's
Makes
next?
no sense.
Clint, what's next? You're going to have a thread called Tony Lorenzo, Buffalo's roller nigger?
Trigger warning, people. Trigger warning. This is a DLF stream after all. He'll say anything to offend you, including homophobia, transphobia, misogynistic comments, anti-Semitic comments, and the like. This is what he calls his locker room talk. So please, if you're going to be easily offended, leave now.
Guys, I said it like sarcastically, And people took offense to it, and I get why they took offense to it.
I guess he doesn't, Cattycorn.
I wasn't really calling him that. I was just I was being sarcastic toward Clint. I actually talked to Tony Lorenzo about it, and he's like,
Is that really true? Little known fact: Stephen Hawking loved strip clubs and went to them often.
I never actually thought of it like that, but I
Sh-
understand it, and then he died, so. That's what that's why I said that. I didn't, I wasn't calling him that.
Hmm.
If anything, I was
Oh,
making fun of Clint when I said it. I was like, what's next? Buffalo's roller,
whoa! That cat came out of nowhere,
and
sliding
then and
in.
then when I messed up my leg.
Wait a second. Pete's is live. Is Pete's saying anything right now? Deb, he sounded like she is leaving soon. Do you mean in terms of Pete's, like what he's talking about? Speaking of Pete's, we're gonna have to go over that stream, so probably we'll do that tomorrow. Go over the Pete stream, or maybe we'll do that on MAD. Depends on how long he takes on his live stream.
um, on the tricycle, I was in a wheelchair for a couple months, and I said, well, since I'm from Buffalo, and I'm in a wheelchair, and I'm black because the Moors conquered Italy, that
V says she's probably leaving Monday. Probably.
means I am now Buffalo's roller nigger.
No, you are not.
Think
You
about
ain't
it that way.
shit.
So
He looks like a Halloween special. What kind?
there you go.
Right now, he looks like he belongs in Scary Movie.
And I think people have gotten off my case over that one just because I made my peace with Tony right before he died. So it's like, well, if Tony understands what's going on, then other people should too, with his situation.
Okay,
And I know it
so
was at the time I said it like it was like a sarcasm thing. I
you
didn't
hope
really want to call him that. I just,
you hope she gets locked up in Kuwait. Maybe she will.
I was making fun
Who
of
knows?
Clint Carr for being like that. Like, why would you go around and just make fun of autistic people all day? And I feel like, and not only that, but you're making fun of autistic people, and then you're getting them
True
banned
V.
from these from the shows. That ain't right.
Still can't believe Pete has the posters on the
And then,
wall.
and then, and then
How
everyone
could he?
bitches is that no one goes to metal shows anymore. Yeah, this is why. Okay? So, and I really want to bring up this point because the other thing, too, is that why is this Jeff Wacker guy telling
Here we
me I
go.
can't be at the video liquidators?
Because he doesn't want you there. Doesn't
Does he
matter.
own the store, or is he just working there?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, that's the question here.
Even if he's working there, he's the controller of that store. It's a private establishment, and as such, he has the authority to tell you to leave and not come back, and then trespass you. So yeah.
So one of these days, I'm gonna call up corporate and blow him in.
Oh,
Because when
what do you mean by blow him in? Lynn Smith says, "What if he really is in Germany and no one to greet the GUNT? Then she shit out of luck."
when I got fired from the casino, why I got fired from the
Why?
casino was because I was playing security at the casino.
Were you?
Because Barf was there, and I said, I don't want you in the casino. And I was just somebody that cleaned the casino. I wasn't security.
Right? I
But I was
thought.
acting like I was security.
Yeah, I guess be free is not for jacking off on those ladies' glasses.
You know, I told
Yikes.
Barf, I said, do not come into my casino. If you do, there will be consequences.
Ooh, okay.
Whether that would be, being thrown out or having the cops called or something. The casino got a complaint from her
About
and
you.
said, hey, you can't be sitting here playing security here when you're not the security. You know?
Why didn't you ask your uncle, DLF? The last time you spoke about your uncle, he acted like the man was painting houses over here.
And I said, well, she's bothering me here and everything else. And the casino was pretty much like tough shit. That's your job to put up with people to bother you. You know? That was basically what they said. Because we had this other chick.
Yeah.
I remember we had this other chick that was working cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess she was being hassled by some patrons at the casino.
And then what
She
happened?
told the supervisor, and the supervisor was just like, pretty much just told her to, shut the fuck up and take the abuse.
That's not nice.
You're being paid to be, verbally abused by the patrons at the
And that
casino.
doesn't sound right, like a supervisor, manager, or any person in charge would ever say that to an employee. You making that up,
And I didn't think
DLF.
that was right either. So, I don't see why this is any different than, her be going to a place. Willie, where are you?
So who's going to orchestrate the move?
I don't see why
Well,
this is any different than me going to, the video liquidators or whatever. Whoa.
could we somehow overlay a different button? Right? Okay, what I was going to say, so who's going to orchestrate the move? Last time I heard she was going to still get that family friend to help her move, right? But that might change. And I guess her family's going to help out. Mary says Willie is trying to catch some roaches up in there. Exactly.
I don't see why. Hey, Willie. I don't see why this is any different than me going to video liquidators.
If
And
you're new
him
here,
saying that he's going to call the police on me if I go there again.
and you're wondering why is this man not in pants, well, he doesn't like pants. He usually likes shorts. And even with the shorts, he only wears them when he's outside of his home. If he's inside, he takes them off. Why? Because he doesn't like the seams. He has a sensory and social problem. A lot of sensory problems, in fact, and he hates the feeling of the seams of pants on his skin and shorts as well because they have seams. So that's why he takes off his pants. Well, he doesn't wear pants, he wears shorts. Even in winter, he wears shorts.
Isn't it like the same thing? I don't know. Especially like, and also too, if I remember correctly,
You live in leggings. Cool.
Jeff Wacker doesn't even live in Buffalo. He lives out in like North Tonawanda, if I remember correctly. So you're trying to tell me that you don't have any other porn shops? Where's Willie? Willie! Oh, there he is.
With
You're telling me that you don't have any other porn shops in like North Tonawanda or something that
no.
you could get a job at, that you have to come out to my neighborhood and get a job where I live? You know what I'm saying?
The video liquidators isn't even really in his neighborhood. Like it's close, but would I call that his neighborhood?
This is the argument I make with the guy at the Lexington Co-op.
Go Willie, go. Go Willie, go.
He lives out in South Buffalo. Okay? He lives out in South Buffalo. So I don't understand why he's coming out from South Buffalo to
Mm-hmm.
work in my neighborhood when he could just stay in South Buffalo and work someplace in South Buffalo.
Cause that's how it works.
You
You get a job anywhere, okay? That's what you do.
know?
Especially in times like these.
So, it's like almost like I'm being boxed in.
That's true. Also, be free. Yup, porn shops are notoriously choosy about their clientele, right?
I'm being boxed in here.
So
And
true, Mary.
I just feel like
You get a job where you get a job.
that, like, everything that's happened to me has been happening because I've been trying to. It all stems from me trying to better my life, and it just does nothing but backfires on me.
Okay, you want to ask a
Even
gross
even to
question?
this day, even if I go to, if I go and try to find a job,
Ask away, Mary.
it just does nothing but anger me.
Wait a second. Whatever happened to friend prices? Remember when friend prices used to frequent? Now we haven't seen friend prices in months.
You know what I'm saying? It does nothing but make me mad. Ow! It just does nothing but make me mad because there like literally is no jobs around. And one of these days, I am going to demonstrate this on a live stream.
There are
And I'll
jobs.
show myself trying to look for a job and me getting frustrated trying to find a. Stop!
Stop shouting like that. That's going to scare the cat. I'm sure that there's jobs. It's just that technically there's no jobs that he wants to work, or should I rather say, the jobs that he wants to work, he doesn't qualify for them because they can be technical or skilled, and he doesn't like those. He wants those types of jobs, but they just don't hire him, or whoever is helping him find a job, they feel as if he wouldn't be good in that type of role. Speaking of which, remember when he worked at that call center and used to look people's information up? Yeah, don't scream like that.
Jesus Christ, Willie. You can't.
Oh, I was gonna say that, Mary, because what he's saying is because he got banned because of the whole clean car and funeral home Buffalo metal scene fiasco that happened years back. But I really suspect he probably was doing something in the store, something he shouldn't be doing, something that people do here and there. Certain types of sleazy, scummy people will go into these DVD prawn stores and do in corners or at the back. So I'm wondering the same thing. Did he get banned from the store for doing something in there or attempted to do something he shouldn't be doing? That is the real question.
Every time I try to better my life, whether it's to a job or trying to meet people, it always backfires. Every single fucking time. And really, every fucking friend that I've had backfires on me. And not even because of something that I did.
It is something you did.
Okay?
It is totally.
Sean Gaziak, I was trying to be friends with him. And stop! No, 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 no. Enough with the fucking chords.
Like I said, DLF cannot keep a friend. The only friend that he really kept was his friend that unfortunately passed away from cancer. Other than that, anybody else, Juicy, Barf, Clint, Katy Perry, Baloney Arm, etc., 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 that Sook guy, every single body decides to peace out from being friends with Dragon Lord Frodo. that has that is not just coincidence anymore. That's a pattern.
Shut up.
Don't tell your kitty
And
cat to
enough
shut
with this
up.
fucking biting shit.
Teach your cat not to bite then. He's
We gotta put an
playful.
end to this biting shit
Hey.
once and for
Hey, calm down.
all. Sean Gaziak, he became a user
Oh
and an
yes. I
abuser.
remember Sean.
And that's why I stopped
G.
hanging out with him. Every single person in my life has some kind of stupid shit going on with them that I want nothing to do with. You got Baloney Arm over there, and he's got
Yeah,
that
poor
fucking
kitty.
wife of his that abuses him, that
So DLF
emasculates
says.
him all fucking day.
So you say
And
DLF.
he didn't like me calling that out. He didn't like the fact that because his fucking girlfriend would control his fucking life. It was like he had to check in with her everywhere he went. She had to know everywhere he went.
Right,
He
Server
wasn't allowed
K.
to go out to lunch with me because we're not including her. It was that whole thing.
I kind of don't believe that because if you remember, Baloney Arm and his wife was who DLF blamed on Gravy. Remember, Gravy unfortunately passed away. Whole incident in the wintertime when Mama Scrunch wasn't able to bring the cat to the vet right away. It was a snowstorm, so they were going to wait till the next morning. And all of a sudden, Gravy passed away, so he says. But also remember that Baloney Arm's wife said, "Hey, that cat looks like they haven't been, they've been sick for years. So at that point in time, they should have taken the cat to the vet for a checkup. And did they do that? Nope, they did not. So remember that incident? We talked about it a lot
I
about being
have never
proactive.
met another person that was so fucking cocked that baloney on.
Wow,
Okay?
using that word, huh?
And I call him out on it, and I'm the fucking bad guy because, oh, I'm just jealous. Yeah, whatever. Go have a nice life, okay, with your wife.
I'm sure he
Okay?
will.
Go have a nice fucking life with your fucking wife.
I'm sure they're doing
With,
great.
with your fucking dumpy ass wife. Okay?
I smell
And
jealousy.
there you go.
I'm smelling jealousy.
You got every fucking person that I come in contact with. I I can't get along with anybody. The only
Yeah,
exception being Eugene. And
yeah,
Eugene
exactly.
is
That's what I just said. Everybody he doesn't get along with. The only person that he got along with over a longer period of time was Eugene. The only person.
dead.
And yeah,
You
Eugene
know?
unfortunately
So
passed
it's
away.
like everybody that I come in contact with, I have a problem with. Why is that? I don't
The
know.
problem is you. It's you.
Is it because I'm an asshole? I don't consider
Yes.
myself like an asshole. I do a little bit, but I'm an asshole for a purpose,
Right.
I'm just like, hey, stop screwing around with me. Like I'm just like a lot of it too with Baloney on was he
Sure,
kept
exactly.
asking me to
Pause and
come over,
pose.
hang out, and I'm like, okay, and then I just won't go over there. And the reason being is just that sometimes I just wanted to stay at home. It had nothing to do with whatever. It's just that he kept bothering me. And I said, yeah, whatever. And I would just say, yeah, I'll
Right.
come over. And then I
Yeah,
would just
exactly.
stay home.
He totally knows the answer. He knows it. It's him. It has to be.
I just wanted to stay home sometimes. That's all it was. It wasn't anything other than that. It's just like I just want to be left alone. And
Be Free says he games all the time. He needs a headset and to find some like minded folks if he's lacking friends. Very true.
then he would say that I'm dishonest or whatever. I'm like, yeah, maybe, but I just want to be left alone. Just like let me just stay. I just want to stay home, you know. But like I said, every single time
Mm-hmm.
I get involved with people, it spirals out of control.
Is that their fault or
And
yours?
it just got to the point where it's just like maybe I should stop getting involved with people,
Yeah,
you
maybe.
know?
Or find better people you're more compatible with.
And my dad was always like, "Do you,
Be
when
more
you get these jobs, do you talk to your coworkers?" And I'm like, "Not really. I try
okay.
not to."
V says Peace's mom will be staying with him. Brother will stay in mom's apartment. Oh, they're doing a change up like that, huh?
He's like, "Well, that's your problem," and I'm like, "That's my problem? No, I don't want to talk to people at work. Okay, I just want to get through my. That's your problem, Mike." And I'm like, "My problem? No, no." And then people start figuring shit out. Of people start. It'll
Figuring
get to
shit
the
out.
point where I'm gonna get. I'm just they're just gonna turn on me like everybody else because when it happens many times to me,
Yeah.
okay,
Then whose problem is that?
then it gets to the point where it's like I just don't want the problems. And my dad's over there shaming me because you don't talk to your coworkers and that's why they think you're weird. And I'm like,
That is
fine,
a
let
lot of
them think
minis.
that way. But you know
Extremely
what? I don't
large amount of
care
minis.
because I don't want to get involved with people, you know? And
Pause and Pose
I
asks,
just think the whole thing,
isn't Pete's mom in assisted living as she was, but she's actually gotten out of that some time ago and was put into the up to 55 or 55 and older, something like that area. So she's out of assisted living because she was doing a lot better. And that is how she can afford to maybe even leave the complex, the home entirely. V says she talked him into thinking he can't manage alone. She is so violent controlling, right? Sobriquet is also true. Everyone else can't always be the issue. Sometimes it's just you.
I don't know what it is. My therapist is absolutely useless, by the way.
Sup, last knee bender?
I go in there
His mom smokes as well. Well, that's gonna be a
and
problem, especially if he wants to smoke inside.
like I this is something that I have to bring up to my therapist because I keep bringing it up and he's just like, "Oh, that's because you're doing." I'm like, "Oh my god, shut the fuck up."
Really?
I come out of therapy feeling worse than when I come in. That's a problem. And the reason being is that, you
True V.
know, I now have a judge's order to go to fucking therapy.
Why does he have
And
to
yet
say,
it's doing nothing
say
but making me
it like
even
that?
more angry to go. I feel more, I don't know.
Say it.
But
Let us
anyway,
hear it. Say it.
That was
I
the
want to know.
update on the
Video
video
Liquidators.
liquidators. It's a guy named Jeff Wacker
Pause and Pose says that's part of why therapy is so hard is the process exactly.
that was
It is a
super
process.
fucking fat when, and he had,
But
and
DLF be
it
fat
wasn't.
shaming as well?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Jeff Wacker? Didn't he tell me once that he like had no asshole or something?
What?
I don't remember. He was telling me some bullshit. It probably wasn't even the same guy, but he
Eh,
was some guy at a
eh?
metal show was telling me.
That they
I
had
think
no
it was
butthole.
Jeff, but he was telling me how
And you
like he
believed
was
it.
born with like no asshole or something.
Hey,
I
oh
don't
hey Kay.
remember.
What's
And
up?
then he had to like wear a colostomy bag all over the place. And I'm like, ugh.
Okay, here's some logic. If Jeff Wacker wasn't born with a butthole, then where is his colostomy bag? And is it a colostomy bag or ileostomy bag? I don't know. I gotta look it up. But okay, so he has some sort of, let's just say, ostomy bag, so that we won't get into specifics. Where would his ostomy bag be right now?
Whatever. It's like he never took a shit for his life. Imagine never being able to take a shit in your life.
You need to. If you couldn't take a shit in your life, you'd be dead.
But anyway, that's what was going on. It's a guy named Jeff Wacker that
There are people who can't get rid of certain wastes in their bodies, and because of that, they're having a lot of health issues because those wastes accumulate. Like I was watching this documentary about certain people in Britain, how based on genetics, wastes are accumulating in their body, and like this person was going blind and deaf and couldn't speak properly over time
works at that
because of
video
buildup of waste.
liquidators. And he knew me from the metal scene. But me and him were cool. But when the shit with Hewlin happened, that's when he turned on me. Okay? The shit with Hewlin
Exactly,
never
Janine.
really happened because it was me being hacked by either Clint or one of his friends
Sure.
from
Runs in Circles says, "Remember when DLF took a dump on stream?" I do. I do
Relapse.
remember.
And
Hey,
my
Marie.
Facebook was hacked by
Wormboy checking in.
Hewlin, or but not by Hewlin, by Clint. And when it got hacked, a lot of posts were made where I trash talk, or it looks like I trash talk Hewlin and his daughter, who his daughter and his son both have uh, a disorder, and I forget the name of it, but it's pretty much
Think I looked
it's
that
like
up.
having cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what happened. And every time I try to explain this to Brian or anybody
Hey,
else,
Cutie
they don't
Pie.
want to hear it. They only want to hear.
I'm good, Cutie Pie girl. Hopefully you're good as well. So when we talked about the whole disorders that are progressive and are occasionally misdiagnosed as cerebral palsy, two come to mind. Actually, three. There's metachromatic leukodystrophy, and then there's also the other one, PM disease, which is Pelizaeus Merzbacher disease. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that right. And then the third one is Rett syndrome. But I really think it's more like metachromatic leukodystrophy is what he's talking about. But I can't confirm that because he won't tell me anything other than some weird
They
name.
don't want to hear it. They only want to hear what they want to hear.
Oh,
And
you watch Pete's games? That's pretty cool, Cutie Pie Girl.
I get it.
Thanks for being in
It's
chat.
because when Clint was running that funeral home place, um, it was basically he would he would allow bands to play very cheap. Okay,
Of
so that's
course,
why a lot of the
bands would play there,
a
the
lot of
local
the
ones.
local bands would play there
Exactly.
because it was a way for them
To exposure.
to
Mm-hmm.
play out
Yep.
very cheap because when when you go and you basically what it is you rent out a bar, okay,
And that can be
and then you
expensive.
have bands play, and then you can have people go to these events. And when they would do it at the funeral home, it was like a fraction of the price. And also, the
Thanks for the
bands
explanation, DLF.
could also play. They would come over and practice at the funeral home as well.
Yep.
So
That makes
that's pretty
sense.
cool. But
It was.
you know, again,
Just,
that's why a lot of people are very supportive of Clip
of
because
course.
it got a lot of the bands
Exposure. Hey,
started
Faithlin.
there.
Can I also
And
say DLF has literally taken nearly 2 hours to explain something that could be done in less than 5 minutes? In fact, it could be explained in less than 3 minutes, maybe even less than 2 minutes, but he kept on rambling, going in circles, talking about the past, talking about tangential things, making tangential arguments about things that don't even
uh,
matter.
that's why I was banned pretty much was because I was basically even though the
He did. He
criticism I
totally.
have toward Clint is valid,
He has been explaining the same thing, a fish by any other name, time and time and time again.
it's still because I'm talking shit about a place.
This is Dragon Lord Photo Cutie Pie, a person who is a degree of separation from Foodie Beauty because he actually knows Foodie Beauty. Foodie Beauty mods for him, and Foodie Beauty occasionally comes into his channel.
That has a very how do I say it has a very prominent history in the Buffalo music scene. It's like it's like it's like if I went to like LA or something
Uh huh.
and
There's places
I
like that in
went to
every
like the
city.
Whiskey a Go Go and the guy that was making that ran that place was making fun of me and I called him out,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that would result in a lot of places not letting me in LA because
Right.
the Whiskey a Go Go was kind of like a big place that got a lot of these bands their start. There wouldn't be there wouldn't be a Metallica as we know it if it wasn't for the Whiskey a Go Go.
Uh
Okay?
huh.
There wouldn't be a lot of these bands if it wasn't for the Whiskey a Go Go. But it's almost like the funeral home here.
Yep.
Okay? You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're
So
saying.
that's that's the thing. That's the problem. And
Runs in Circle says, I think they took care of it while he was in jail.
it's just like there's just some
Yeah,
people that you do not criticize.
his nasty leg sore is more of like a nasty ass sore. What was called a was it pilonidal cyst? And yeah, pilonidal cyst. They took care of it when he was in the bin. So that was like a couple months ago when he got in there back in May,
Eyes.
early
And
May.
I criticized those people that I shouldn't have. You know?
Pilonidal cyst is
So,
what he had, where
there you go.
his hair was growing
That's why I
into
was
his skin.
that's why I was threatened at the video liquidators. This is Dragon Lord Frodo, and I approve this message. Thanks in advance for watching this.
And then that's it. Can you imagine? Nearly 2 hours for that. Anyways, I know that Pete's is live, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over that. Whether I do that tonight or tomorrow depends on really one main factor, which is how long is he gonna take to finish his live stream. If he takes an hour, then I'll probably do tonight. If he takes more than an hour, then I'm probably gonna do it tomorrow. But check out, watch out. Maybe I'll put that on Monty After Dark. That's what I'm gonna do. Yes, we're gonna do it on MAD. Then after that, what we're gonna do is talk. If it's just an hour, if it's an hour and a half, after that we can talk. But watch out for any scheduling of any live streams. But thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Smash that like button. Brief reacts. So Video Liquidators is just a porn shop, right? Yes, you are correct. The Video Liquidators, if I Google it, it comes up as a DVD porn shop. Thank you, V. Have a good one. Cutie Pie Girl, have a good one. Sir Bouquet, take care. Night Marie, take care, everybody else. So yeah, I'll have more DLF content because some people like watching DLF. I'll have foodie beauty content. I'll have Sagittarius shardy content like we did like 2 or 3 days ago, and more of Shiny and Rev. As usual, also check out my third channel where I cook half of the time and I'll do other things. The rest of the time is called Monty Does Stuff. So if you want to check that out, I did do a cooking live stream 2 days ago. So if you want to check that out, check it out. But no biggie if you don't. If you're not into that stuff, then that is fine as well. Anyways, I am out of here. I will be gone until maybe 2 or 3 hours. So check, check for me then. Hey, Linda R. If not, if you gotta go to bed, if you got things to do, no worries. I'll just see you another time. But take care. Have a good one. Bye bye.